Welcome back into the Midnight Hijack. This is your host, Rusty Relics, and we're back with Leave It Alone. So, unfortunate news is we actually had to restart. I started playing a little bit to try catching up. I was like, nah, you guys can rewatch this. It's fine. It's fine. We can just restart from scratch. It's okay, guys. It's okay. I did get the bag tying ability. I already got a good majority of our stuff back. I was trying to work on all the journals as much as I could. I just did not do it yet. So, the previous game, for a small recap, we got pretty far. Apparently, we were 61% done with this game. And, with being that close to being done, I was like, cool, whatever. I didn't realize how far we made it. And the reason we had to restart was one leaf glitched out and just disappeared off the face of the earth. So yeah, we have to restart from scratch because of a leaf. I guess you really have to leave it alone. Maybe it's not the squirrels that hit us in the head. Maybe, just maybe. It's actually just this a single leaf, and every single time we slip into a coma is because somebody had to restart the game. Because it's not even like this game autosaves a lot, but it doesn't actually like give me autosaves to load from. There's only one save file per game, but then there's like dozens of save files that I could go through. So I'm confused entirely about how the game works sometimes, but we're not going to concern ourselves with that. Right now, we're going to concern ourselves with getting this fixed up. There we go. I wonder if I just... Will it pick up? No. I do need to do some of the other missions that I have yet to continue with. So that is going to be our goals for today, is to completely catch up with everything. So like we'll upgrade my grabby hand. And I want to work on getting the rake as well, so then we can get some of those missions back too. I'm scared to use the leaf blower again just because I don't want it to glitch out again. I will be buying all the leaf inlets, so then that can be done and over with. I don't have to sit there and stress. Like, I don't want it to be like some secret achievement that I could have easily gotten. You know, it's not out of my way. I'm going to have a buttload of money left over. So I see it as no skin off of my back, you guys know? You guys get me, you feel me? But yeah. Again, this like, I really enjoyed this game. I dislike how I lost a single leaf. I can't find it anywhere. I even went back and played the game for another 20 minutes. I added an additional 20 minutes trying to find this one leaf, and it was just nowhere to be found. I didn't know if it glitched down to a different part of the section, but it really sucks because to get the key, I need the crouch ability. And I couldn't use the crouch ability because the game glitched out. I ended up using the leaf blower to blow all of the leaves out from underneath that park bench. I got the key for the next section, went through the entirety of the next section, which was right behind where we needed to, like, right behind where we were. And still no leaf. I cleared out the entire area. Still no leaf for me to grab. So, I was just like, man, I don't know how much more I can play of that game before it turns out to just be a glitched game. So, we're going to make life easier. Restart it. I played a little bit just so that I can try catching up a bit. Knock out some of the achievements, but we're going to just redo it again. No wife today. We're going to be doing this, just us. Just me and you. You know, me and the viewer. Maybe. I don't know if that's actually a person. I don't know how Twitch works. I'm still learning how to stream. But again, this is purely like I'm relaxing. I'm enjoying myself. What I'm going to do later today is I'm going to start making shorts. Because I tried doing clips so then I could just clip it out and I didn't have to do too much work. But that didn't work. So I'm thinking I got to figure out how to do like a timestamp or something. Oh, please tell me that this game isn't glitched out. Oh no. Please let it be under one of these bags. Are you kidding me? Oh, why did they turn gray? You're kidding me. Oh, wait. Oh. I was about to cry. That's so cool. Oh, that's actually so cool. I like that a lot. I had a heart attack. I thought it was broken again. I have a really smart idea that I'm hoping will work. I'm going to sweep them all up to this leaf intake. Do you see where I'm going already? I'm going to knock out like 6 birds with 1 stone. I'm going to sweep up this entire area, jump into it to do the pile mission, and then I'm just going to open up this intake. This is some ASMR stuff. Like, I really enjoy this. I don't know about you guys. I find this very peaceful. I'm almost there too. You should have seen it yesterday. I was like saying through with this rake, just shaking it at every conceivable direction to try finding this one leaf. There we go. How much is it for this intake? Oh yeah, it's all coming together, guys. Hannah Marie almost done with this area. That's beautiful. I like the tying off ability just because I can sit in an area and not have to worry about turning in the money until later, you know? Because see, I can just set that off to the side, especially since right now I could up here. There we go, max them out. So now I just have to start maxing out the others as well. So I need to max out the rake, and then I gotta max out the leaf blower. There we go, let's dump all that off. See how much money I have. Let's extend that. There's no other intakes over here, right? Yes, there is. $3. I like this plan more, because then I can knock out multiple birds. I wish there was like more of a visual cue of like your rake and stuff getting upgraded. That would be kind of cool. I'm going to just fill up one bag for the sake of getting the $3. Because either way, I'm doing the same amount of work, it's just how am I doing this work? So I'm hoping that's enough. If not, I'll have a giant pile of leaves. This one's just more satisfying. I like the sound of the rake. is going to be the most satisfying thing in the world. I'm excited. Let me go and get that $3. Oh, yeah. Oh my god, the amount of money I just got. Alright, that was fun. I enjoyed my time. Let's go and finish cleaning this up because I want to increase my movement speed. And soon I'll be able to upgrade to get the sprint ability. Oh no. There we go. Now let's get that sprint ability. But see what I mean? Now I can just sit there and start working all the other things that matter. Because right now I don't really need the money. I can just focus on picking up all the leaves and being good. This game is still, like, even from last night, this game is so peaceful. And it's just ASMR. Because instead of doing your own housework, you can go and play housework video games. I'm not going to stream for too long, maybe like an hour, maybe 2. Because I do have some chores I gotta get done. I gotta put dishes away, I gotta clean some stuff up. There we go. Luckily I don't have to stress too much about my own house chores because I've been keeping up with them, so it's not a lot of things, it's just I have to do a few things. I was thinking, I would love to hear opinions on this. I would like to start thinking about, I would like to start thinking about doing some art streams. Like, I paint miniatures, so I was thinking about showing that off a bit. I don't know if anybody would actually be interested in that, though. Man. I just threw that right out the window. Oh no. There it is. There we go. Basketball master. I don't know if it's more satisfying to go in rows, like go like this, or if it's more satisfying to go side to side like a typewriter. Where I'm just sweeping back and forth very slowly. Because my hands are already maxed out. Now it's just maxing out the rake and eventually the leaf blower. Because look at that. Look at them go. Peace. Tranquility. Everything the Fire Nation was before it attacked. I'm sorry, that was stupid. So far at 5 bags. Jeez. Oh, still not enough. Okay. There's not an intake down here, right? No. So that I have to do by hand. What about up here? It's just that one, right? Oh, this is actually so much fun. Oh, look at the piece. That's nice. Let's very quickly, while we're down here, just pick up all of these. You know what? There was... Yeah, there was. I remember there being a picture frame back here somewhere. Oh, and there's also one up here. There we go. Let's increase those values. Welcome to the circus of... Sorry. I might be a little stupid, guys. Just a little bit, though. Oh no, my dog saw something. If I ever become like super famous, guys, would you want me to build like a soundproof room? I would really enjoy that. I'm sorry. See, my biggest thing is I really don't care about the perception of myself. As long as it's funny, let's do it. Let's have a joke or two. I'm always up for a good laugh. I'm always down to do whatever. I am, I was actually talking about this with my wife yesterday. I was thinking about doing interviews, make this like a talk show host, think of it like a Jimmy Fallon kind of thing. have like the VTuber karaoke and get VTubers that are like, oh, I can't sing to sing something. And just have interviews. My only thing that I was thinking of was I'm worried about the VTubers that don't want to answer any personal questions. So what do we talk about? So I was like sitting there all last night and I was thinking about it. I was like, well, let's talk about video game stuff. Let's talk about I wouldn't say current events because I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about stuff like that. I want it to all just be lighthearted fun. So I was thinking about like, oh, we'll talk about their previous games, or like last night I was trying to ask my wife about like what was the weirdest thing you used as a bookmark. Because personally, I've only ever had one bookmark that I've actually used, and I still use it. I got it in. I bought the Slay the Princess a collector's edition, and it came with a metal bookmark, and it's already bent so badly. I did not take good care of it at all. But that's the thing, is just like I'm sitting there last night just like, hey, well, what's the weirdest thing you use as a bookmark? Wanting stories, wanting to talk about it, crack jokes about it. I'm thinking I want to do the same thing with this, is to sit there and make it a joke, make it funny for everybody. I'm wondering, I'm trying to figure out who I can go with, because I don't want to like go straight off to a big VTuber and like hit up Iron Mouse or something like that, because it's like, oh, that flew right over. I don't want it to seem like, oh, I'm only doing it for the popularity to grow the channel. No, this is purely like I'm interested. I love hearing people's stories. I love listening to people talk. I love just learning, hearing different perspectives on everything. Math, science, history, all of it. Sometimes they're uncovering a big mystery. Something about Big Bang, yeah. But, no, that's exactly what I mean. Is just I really want to learn about other people's other people. I actually write, and I have a few stories, and all of them I have a signature sign off where it's this jumble of words, and it says like I'm openly saying, may the author never find your tale. Because I fully believe that you can't die until you're forgotten. So, if you're remembered, you'll always be remembered. You'll always be around. You'll always be alive. And so it's like it's more of a satirical thing of like, oh, I hope the author never finds your tale. Because who would want to live for an eternity? Eternity seems so boring. It feels like you would already learn everything. You would already do everything. You can't talk about history because you'll always be history. You'll never be the one on the outskirts looking in. You'll always be the one looking out. If that makes sense. So being remembered is like a major fear. But I don't like being recognized. I would much rather keep my solitude. And that's why I don't ruffle feathers to say. I sit there, I do my thing, and if people like what I do, then they're going to like what I do. Otherwise, they're not. I'm not going to sit there and falsify myself for others' enjoyments. Like, what you guys are seeing or how I am is how I am in real life. I stutter. I'm not the brightest. But you'll always see me cracking a joke or something. I'm always teasing people. I'm always listening to stories. I'm very talkative. I'm finally coming out of my shell. Like, I've been seeing a difference between my first videos and my recent videos. Is I'm actually sitting here talking. And I will say I do prefer uh playing with other people for the sake of the conversations. Like this right here is difficult to not get the feedback. Like I want to hear somebody else say, "Oh yeah, this is actually a good idea," or "This is not a good idea," or to further conversation. Because I'm the one that has to think about the conversations for myself to talk about. So like now I have to sit there and actually figure out what can I talk about. I've been like brainstorming ideas. I was thinking like once a month. I'm hoping to finish one book every single month. And I'm doing pretty well so far. I'm already almost done with a indie novel right now. Uh, I'm reading A Crumbling of a Nation. That one is heavily like this. The guy openly said like this is a political book. This is how I see the world changing if it continues the way it is. So it does have a lot of political conversations in it. I don't want to focus on that aspects. Like I would rather everybody else read the book. But like my biggest thing right now is I love the short stories. It's a collection of short stories. What I don't like is a lot of the stories. There's only been like two or three, and I'm already halfway through the book, where they do this thing. In the English department, we call it telling, not showing, where it's exactly what it sounds. They tell you what the moral of the story is. They tell you how you should see this part of the story. And it's like, don't tell us how we should feel. Show us, because that's what literature is. It's about letting your audience make the decision, the collective decision about uh, about how they should feel about a novel. This guy is openly like saying like, "Oh, this is bad and this is good." Don't say that it's good or bad, because then you're going to exclude yourself from a vast majority of people. You have to sit there and allow people to read the books and to make their own informed decisions. A great example is Treasure Planet. Or Treasure Island. Treasure Island. Sorry. I just watched the movie recently. Uh, reading the book Treasure Island, you can see the same thing. Because you wouldn't guess that a children's book is about the geopolitical state of economics and social life during the Victorian era. But that's what the author was writing about. Yes, the primarily reason he wrote the story was to entertain his child. He was upset that there was no good children's stories for his child. I couldn't remember if it was just there was no good stories that he liked, or if there was just like, if it was that leap of like, oh, it's either you have toddler stories or you have adult stories. Like there is no children's stories. It just goes straight to young adults. I don't remember exactly. I did my research paper on that years ago. But throughout his thing, there's this idea that all stories have meaning, whether it was intended or not, because the author does not write of his own free will. The author writes subconsciously. No idea is original. All ideas are an amalgamation of there are these amalgamations of everything that you experience in life. So if you sit there and you only know that if you look up your eyes will burn, then on a night sky you won't look up, because your entire life you have been told don't look up at all, it'll burn your eyes. Even in moonlight you won't look up, because that has been your life lesson. Or same thing with speech and everything. Like you sit there and you're like, oh yeah, everybody can talk. Not a lot of people can talk. There's been documentaries of people that were neglected as infants and they never had the stimulation to their brain that allows for speech. So when you have instances like that, you have to really stress about what can you do for somebody without that language, without that knowledge? But that's the same thing with writing. You sit there and you have all of these stories in your head, but all of these stories are just adaptations of what you've read before. So if you see genre specific things, so for young adult novels, cool. Sorry, I got distracted. If you start reading in young adult novels, you'll see that there's a lot of them where it's um, young teen coming of age story where they have to struggle with A, B, and C, and through A, B, and C, they learn how to do X, Y, Z. Harry Potter, uh, Harry Potter and Star Wars, great examples. But if those are the only books that you're ever introduced to, that's how you're going to write youth novels. The more you read, the more you see what else a youth novel can be. There's quite a few really good books that I can definitely recommend if that is something that we want to do. Have like this book conversation once a month, where after I'm done reading a book, we sit there and I want to say roast the book, or grill the book is probably the better word. Because I never want to insult another author's works. It's exactly what it sounds like. They work very hard for what they have. So why would I sit there and insult it? Hit the basket with everything you can. Buy all upgrades. Unlock the leisure area. Okay, cool. But I definitely want to sit there and have, like, this is my opinions on the book. Here's my monthly book review. And in the in-between, like, what we're talking about now is I'm just going to go over the books that I've already read. So, like, we can see, like, if we go back to the genre specifics, I see Harry Potter and Star Wars being the exact same. Young kid doesn't know that he has extreme powers and ends up having to get mentored by an older apprentice or an older mentor. He takes this apprenticeship, and then the mentor dies in one way or another, often violently. And those genre specifics you'll see over and over again. And then, like, they have to form a group, blah, blah, blah. But then you can start seeing breakaways. So, like, obviously Percy Jackson falls into the Harry Potter scenario. But there is a novel called Skin of the Sea. And it's a 2-part series. As of right now, I don't remember if the author said that she was making a 3rd book. I really hope so. I really like how they ended, but continuing, this one follows African mythology. So we have mermaids, we have giant snakes, we have these mythological creatures, but it's not I would say it's still a coming of age story, but it's not in the same respect that I would write Harry Potter and Star Wars. Because she already knows that she has powers. She's already a mythological creature. She's a mermaid, essentially. Oh. Sorry, give me like 2 minutes. My wife was calling. Alright, sorry about that. My wife wants to see me for a bit, so I'm going to pause the recording and pick it up again in a second. See you guys soon. Hello, I am back. I am sorry for that delay. I thought it was going to be shorter. It did not end up being shorter. So, continuing, we were talking about Skin of the Sea. All right, that book super interesting because it's all based on African mythology. And with that, like we have the gods and we follow uh the mermaids essentially, where the goddess of the sea, she doesn't do mermaids the same way that we expect mermaids to be. The book is set place during the slave trade, so it's very much like it's really dark. uh the all the mermaids are traveling with the ships, underneath the ships, to grab any Africans that were thrown overboard. It has a lot of really dark themes to it, but it still has so much beauty to the story because of what it holds as like the central focus. Because it's very much like, hey, we want to discuss uh about other cultures, but it's no longer that coming in age, it's no longer that genre specific, because now it's focusing more on other aspects, such as we're seeing a incline in, why is my brain blanking, because it's no longer the coming of age, it's now focusing more on a different aspect. It's now focusing on this philosophy of getting to know yourself, like kind of like self-worth. Because now we no longer have to focus on coming of age and harnessing your powers. She's now struggling with her own identity because all of the mermaids used to be human. They fell from the ship. They fell from the ships, and the goddess of the sea grabbed them and turned them into the mermaids to help guide people home, because she, like the goddess of the sea, was becoming so depressed about all of the pain and suffering that she was watching. Which, totally understandable, because dear God, the graphics of this story, because this author does not hold back. She understands like how much people can actually handle. One of the things that I was learning when I was taking my classes and learning about stuff like this was that we don't give kids enough credit that some of these authors do. Some of these authors sit there and they're all like, oh yeah, it's a kid, they'll be able to handle talking about genocide or something. Like, look at what we were reading in middle school. Personally, I read The Giver in my class. We read The Giver, and the scenery in that is so graphic and so upsetting. But they expected middle schoolers to read this. Same thing with like The Outsiders. Reading about a lot of these books were really interesting for the sake of like, what do authors think kids can handle? Because it's no longer up to us to decide it. It's up to what the author wants. Because we're not the ones writing these books. It's the authors that are like, yeah, I understand my audience and I understand that they can handle something like this. And personally, like, when I started hearing like the professor start saying like, oh yeah, what kind of books should we, like, what kind of lessons should kids be learning? And she's pulled out middle school, and I was like, oh, they should be learning lessons like A, B, and C. And she's like, no, that's stuff that you should be teaching elementary students. But then you start learning about those genre specifics, and you start reading these stories and start seeing the subject matters that they're expecting kids to grasp. And you start thinking like, dear God, there's no way a kid should be able to even think about something so horrible at such a young age. But those authors are the ones dictating what your students read, what your kids read. This isn't supposed to be a thing of hatred of like, oh, they're trying to push super difficult topics onto the kids. It's the parents, and even subconsciously ourselves, we don't give people enough credit. We don't give the youth enough credit to understand these difficult concepts that we would sit there and struggle to listen to. But now like starting to read some of these kid stories, you start seeing some of these tougher subject lessons embedded into all these stories, and you have to sit there and be amazed at what the author's able to slip in and the moral lessons that they want to teach. Granted, there are definitely some times where it's like, oh, even this is even too graphic or just not good enough for me as well. Because there's definitely a few stories where I'm just like, I'm good. I don't like how this is written. I don't like how this is done. But then that's just preference. I can't get that leaf. There we go. But yeah, you sit there and you start learning about like what kids are reading and what they're able to comprehend, and you're like, oh my god, I've been underestimating my children all my life. There were definitely a few books that we read in that class that I didn't particularly enjoy. There was one that I just want to read again because it was good, it was just boring. It was called The Last of the Quincettes. It follows it talks about eugenics, and for the people that might not know what eugenics are, it's the idea of selective breeding to be able to get a desired outcome. So in eugenics, it's this belief that you can selectively breed a group of people to be able to get a desired trait. So if you don't like the nose of a certain like if you don't like a certain shape of nose, you won't allow these people to breed. You selectively choose who can and can't breed. And it goes in depth with a lot of that. My biggest issue wasn't the subject matters that I was talking. I just didn't like how the story was progressing. It was very boring. It was very like there wasn't it felt like they were jam-packing everything into the end. But when you read that story, you had to learn a lot. Because now you're learning about the difficulty of eugenics. Who gets to decide what is in vogue? What is this popularity? And not only do you have to figure out who's in charge of that, you now also have to decide who's in charge of everything else. Who's allowed to say up is down and down is up? And a lot of these stories start exploring these kind of subject matters of, is it right for people to selectively breed? Of course, they write them as the villains, but they still leave it up to interpretations because they attempt to justify why they did it. And it's like, oh, that's horrible. Why would you ever want to justify? And it's like, it's that show, don't tell. Show them why it's bad. Don't tell them that it's bad. Because you want people to come up with the idea that eugenics is bad on their own, not by your philosophy. Because once you start saying, oh, it's because I say it's bad, you start becoming less and less credible. People stop listening to you more and more. So, like, in that story, you sit there and you follow a character that has undesirable eyes. She has a eye condition that makes it to where she will be blind in her, like, 30s, I think they said. Because the muscles just don't generate properly. The muscles are just broken. So she's unable to see properly. And so the family hides away the fact that she's like that, and to make sure that she survives this asteroid that's about to kill everybody. And over the course of... it's one of those sentry ships. So sentry ships are is this in-between stage of we have the technology for intergalactic space travel, but we don't have the technology to make it fast. It still takes hundreds and hundreds of years. I think they said it was going to take like 200 or 300 years before they reach their destination. So, unfortunately, when you have a ship like that, you have this combination of the sleepers, who are the ones that will remember Earth, remember exactly how Earth is like, and get to make the decisions of, like, they're the ones in charge. They're the rich, they're the powerful, they're this and that. Throughout the story, we see not only who the author thinks are the most important people in society, because on these sentry ships, the first people to leave are the construction builders and the farmers, and the last people to leave are the politicians and the kings and the millionaires and the businessmen. Now, of course, this makes sense to a degree because people want a building to be there, and if you're not skilled in building a building, then obviously you won't be able to survive long outside. But I think that's where they're pulling away from as well, because now she's showing realistically why are they going up in groups and not all together? Do small batches of everybody so then the politician can start making the rules as well. Because where's the leadership if everybody on this first ship is farmers and builders? There's no politicians, there's no leaders. All the leaders, politicians, billionaires, businessmen are all coming together in the last ship that doesn't make it. The last ship that actually makes it off of the ground before the Earth is destroyed is filled with scientists. This is the one that we're going to follow. And in that story, we're seeing all of these philosophies of, like, the eugenics, again. Because now, we have the observer, the guy that is like, wait a minute, she can't see in the dark. She's blind. Why are we having her on the ship? But he doesn't say anything. It's not clear why he doesn't, but let's not worry about that. During the unconscious state, they go and sit, and they find out that the politicians and kings are all dead and unable to show up. So the people that have to operate the ship, the people that are awake and that have to survive 300 years, decide they can be the rulers. We're going to take over this entire planet and rule for ourselves. And that, again, that's where the eugenics starts, because now they're selectively breeding to get specific traits that they want in their perfect society. They're going around and they're able to do X, Y, and Z at any given time. And it was a great story. I'm not going to spoil too much of everything else that happens. That's pretty much like the first few chapters. I think I want to keep it like that, where I do just talk about just the beginning parts of the books, but that's where you start seeing whether or not it's a good author or not, because they're the ones in charge of how the story needs to look. And with them being able to say how the story looks, we get to see these beautiful illustrations. Granted, I'm not going to like every single book that I read, and I know you guys aren't going to like all of my suggestions. So that's why I wanted to treat this like a book club whenever we start talking about stuff like this. Where it's like, hey, this is how I see it. I would love to hear your guys' comments in the bottom if you've read the last Quincenta or Soul of the Sea. If you read Soul of the Sea, drop down what you thought about it. Whenever we start talking about more books, I'm going to give like my honest opinion about it, and I would love to hear your guys'. I'm not going to sit there and bash you guys. I'm not going to genetically alter you guys to be able to say that my book is better or my opinion is the opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. So please, like, drop down a comment, drop a line, let me hear your guys' discussions. I would love to see what you guys think about the stories. Oh, see one right there. There we go. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of books, and I think what I might do is during like the chill games like this, where it's just me talking to myself, I might do that. I might make this like these kind of games. These are the book of the month. This is the book of the month. Might make a little jingle too. But still, there's a lot of great stories, and I definitely want to advertise books as well, because I see so few people reading. Whenever I go to my library, I go to the library because they have a program where you can buy the books. Because I'm a slow reader. I'm trying to get better at that. I'm an English major that sucks at reading. It's my dyslexia. It makes it a struggle for me to be able to read, because I have to reread the same page like 5 or 6 times before I actually understand what's going on, or to make sure that I don't mess up the words. So I normally buy my books, because if I rent them, well, if I borrow them from the library, then it'll be a long time before they get it back. But that's what you have to do sometimes. You have to be willing to change and adapt. But whenever I do go, you'll see maybe 1 or 2 families. Like, I think the busiest I've ever seen it was maybe 20 people inside of there. And this library is massive, like a gymnasium size thing. And they tried so hard to bring more people in. So, like, they're sitting there and they're doing events, and when you go to the events, there's so few people showing up for the events. Or, if you're lucky, some of the libraries that are up here, they only get busy when there's events. And it's like, that's depressing. It's supposed to be talking about the love of the story. Oh, this is like a hedge mage, jeez. Oh, found that. There's a garden back here. That's cute. But yeah, like, it's really sad seeing that sometimes it's purely like, oh, the only reason why they get any business is because they have events. They should be busy all the time, or at least some of the time. I shouldn't be able to go into the library at any given time and just be able to not see it crowded. I know it's kind of weird. Like, people normally don't like crowds. I'm an introvert, and I prefer crowds at the library than individuals, because that's how it should be. Oh, I'm missing a few pictures. I guess we'll go and look at those later, see if I can't find them somewhere. But yeah, these places should be busier than they actually are, and it's kind of depressing where it's like, oh yeah, they're not really getting business, and you have to worry about whether or not these books are still going to be available for future generations. I know I'm very much like, hey, like, go to the library, get a book, check it out, keep their fundings up. I have my own personal library, but I think a library should have a lot of people. It should be busy. It should be crowded. It should be all of these things, but we just don't see it anymore. There's always hope that things will change. And that's what many people have to hold out for, is this hope that things will change. Oh, I'm just missing 2. Cool. But yeah, it's always this fear of things will change, and that's why I kind of want to start this book thing. To bring awareness of like, hey, check out these books. Ask your library to get some of these books out. Because, like, my library's cool. I can ask them, hey, I need this book. And they're like, okay, do you mind waiting? I'm just like, yeah. And all I have to do is wait. That's it. That's all it is. It's just I have to wait for the book to actually come into the library if I ever need a book that they don't have on hand. And that's such a cool thing to have. Like, hey, I need this book. And they're like, cool. It'll be here in like 2 weeks. You'll always see me advertise for books and for just pretty much anything to make your life, in my opinion, better. Because I love reading. I love English. I'm big on learning anything to help out your fellow man as well. Because I sit there and I advertise a lot for like ASL, American Sign Language, where I like bringing awareness to it. Because there's so many people that don't actually know how to handle somebody that is deaf. I have coworkers where they freak out whenever there's somebody deaf that comes into the store. I started signing at them when they first get hired on, so then they're all like, oh my god, I don't know how to handle this, and then it's either they know how to handle it and they do something good, or they try figuring out how to do something good, or they do something bad and I can correct it right then and there, and hopefully they'll do better in the future. Because it is really sad watching these people come in and they don't speak English, or they don't, like they either can't speak it or they just don't know how to speak it. I have a guy from Taiwan. He comes in all the time and he doesn't speak good English. So I'm always sitting there taking my time to understand him. It's really nice, the bonds that you can build up if you're willing to put in the work. Because that's how you make friends. You talk to them. You sit there and you find out how you can communicate with one another. And if you don't know how to communicate with one another, you'll learn how to. But I think that's a skill that so many people are losing because they don't care anymore. They only care about themselves. You'll always see me pointing out a helping hand every time I can. I want to be there to support and be there. If that all makes sense. My biggest issue is making sure that my points come across properly. Because I know we can all be speaking English and yet none of us actually understand what the other is saying. That has happened many a times. Oh, cool. One of the biggest things is like a lot of the YouTubers I follow also have the same philosophy of like, hey, don't be mean to people. Just if they're not hurting anybody, let them do their thing. And I will stand by them every single day of the week. Like some prime examples is like I watch a lot of Dad's Games, I love his videos. I was going to start streaming at 1, but then I saw he posted a video, and I was just like, never mind, we're doing it at 11. Or yeah. Yeah, I was supposed to start at 10. And then he came out with his video, and I was just like, nope, we're doing it at 11 now. Because I love watching his stuff. He's so funny. He makes me laugh so hard. The jokes that he makes. Today was a video on an exorcism game, actually. But now he's like branching out and doing other channels. And what I've been noticing a lot recently is everybody's starting to do movies now. I don't know how I feel about it, because like Markiplier's doing movies. Daz apparently is going to be directing a movie. He said it in one of his videos that he's not allowed to talk about it yet, but it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, all of these YouTubers are making movies, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried about them all making movies, being directors. But I don't know if that's me being selfish of like, oh no, I want my YouTube content, so please don't do anything other than YouTube. Or if this is genuinely like, is everything going to be like this, where everybody's just swapping over to movies? Because Markiplier, oh my god, Markiplier, the things that he does, the work that he puts in. If he ever needed help writing music or anything, my systems are there, my instruments are there, man. Because that's, like, Markiplier is such a genius, such an artistic genius. The things that he's willing to do, and how much he's learning. He's willing to learn all of these things. I don't want to say it's for saving money, because I really don't think he cares about the money. I think he genuinely, like, enjoys all of this hard work to be able to create a artistic project. Like, look at Space with Markiplier and all these other films that he's come up with, or that he's made. I want to make sure I'm watching my words, because I don't want it to be misconstrued as like, oh, I don't like Markiplier. I love Markiplier. I'm excited for his next videos. Him playing with some people like Bob and Wade. I started watching their content too. I don't think I would have started if they didn't stream together. I'm not saying it's him having a breakthrough. I'm just not very... I don't explore YouTube much. I've been exploring YouTube more now that I started, like when I first started thinking about streaming, I started exploring more and more YouTubers. But it was never in such droves compared to before. Before it was like this, where the only way I learned about somebody's YouTube channel was through somebody that I already knew. People recommended me Queso, and then I started watching Queso. Stuff like that. I was very much like, I don't like straying away from what I find comfortable. I need everything to be exactly the same all the time. I feel like that is where a lot of my blunders come in, because I'm really restricting myself from watching good content. For what reason other than I'm too lazy to look around? I'm not willing to explore my surroundings. And like now I'm looking at all these different kinds of YouTubers. I'm not getting bored with content. I'm not waiting for just Queso or just Markiplier to post. I'm now waiting on dozens of people to post. Because it doesn't hurt to subscribe to somebody that you like. Because worst case scenario is there's a video or two that you don't like. I don't like Queso's reaction videos. But that's just personal preference. I know people aren't going to... There might be people that don't like when I do Let's React, and there might be people that do like it. It's no sweat off of my back, and it's no sweat off of yours. There's hundreds of YouTubers that you can go and enjoy content from. And always having like that availability to look around and see, oh, where can I find the next YouTuber? Where can I find the next person that I can watch on a regular basis? Man, I am still missing photos. I thought there would have been one here. It looks like there should be one there. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm trying to find other photos. Because which ones have I found? I found shed, porch, grill swings, garage, basement, and then I'm going to guess one of those is secret room. Is there anything else I need to do other than... I need $50 to finish that achievement. I can get into the secret room pretty easily. I'm not too worried. I'm just more weirded out that there's not a picture somewhere here. Here's the hoping I'll find it in here. But yeah, continuing with the idea. Markiplier, when he does videos like this where he has his open conversations, sometimes I enjoy them, other times it's like, oh, I'm good, I'm fine. But it depends on what he's talking about. It's depending if I find it interesting or not. And that is what content is. Who finds what interesting. Some people are more likable than others, definitely. Like, again, using Markiplier. So many people love him. That's why he became so famous. PewDiePie, he was the first to get such high numbers as well, and it was because of how likable he was. I don't know the whole situation. From what I understand is he hired people to write something of anti-Semitic, and then he said the N-word. That's pretty much all I got. I don't follow the YouTube drama. I will never follow YouTube drama. That's just not my thing. I don't want to be involved in that stuff. But like, again, everybody flocked to him because he was so likable. Everybody enjoyed him. Even some of the VTubers. People like him too. Like them too. I chose the reason I chose VTubing was because I don't like showing my face. I don't want myself to be public like that. And so it's better if I have at least a model or something. So then I can still have some kind of expression. We are going to update the PNG tuber to be a bit more animated. Hopefully soon. But for right now, it's just bouncing. But that's the thing, is just, I don't like showing my face. I don't want my face to be plastered anywhere. I don't like the idea of fanning. So why would I give myself to become part of the fame? I would much rather not. Man, there is a lot here. Oh. There we go, finish that. Buy all tool upgrades. I'm almost done with the leaves. I do want to find the other secret photo. I really want to say it's here somewhere. It has to be. But yeah, I would never want fame. I would never want any of it. So, but to, instead of just doing a no face, I still want to express myself. I still want to be able to show people how I'm feeling and stuff. Express my excitement or any other niche thing. But to be able to do that, I need some way to express myself. So I think this would be really. I thought this model would be a great idea. VTubers coming out, I know are on the market for quite some time, but now that they're coming out in droves, and now there's so many content creations happening with that, I think this really shows a growth into what people can do. If that makes sense. Like, we're hearing more voices that we would have never heard before. Because there's people like me where they don't want their face plastered. I'm never going to do a face reveal. This is my face, as far as you're aware. Maybe I am just a Radiohead. Alright, I'm almost there. I'm just going to do this. But, yeah, everybody has their own preference, and with the growth of VTubers, there might be people like me as well where they sit there and agree of, I wanted to do content, I just didn't want to show my face. I wonder what's the point of all this extra money. There has to be one in... Okay. Maybe not. Where's the picture? Because that looks like the end of the game, so I don't want to go in there yet. I want to find this other... Because there's no way there's two pictures in the end. Nothing up there. I already got the one in there. I already got the one up there. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, I just realized this is so much darker. Oh, it's supposed to be like progression of the day. I'm stupid. I still have no idea where this is. I have to be missing something. Just one more loop around. There's nothing. Is there anywhere that I might have missed? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, look, that's so cute. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so adorable. I'm worried. If they're going to be that sneaky, I have to look again. They wouldn't stash it on. I didn't realize that they would shove a photo behind. Nothing up here. I can't open those, right? Yeah, no. Okay, nothing up there. Especially with this crouch ability. Oh, that's going to be so evil. No. Alright. If that's how it is, there has to be one in the garden somewhere. I want to know the story. I want to... Because it looks like we hit the squirrel, threw him away. He flung himself from the tree, ate some food. He is trying to save another squirrel from the... Man, it just looks like we're abusing squirrels. Oh! Aw. Oh, so that's like the squirrels. That's cute. I still got 30 bucks. Alright, let's go inside of this secret room. Okay, what is this? Oh. What? Oh, this got creepy really quick. What the hell is this? Where the hell? What the hell? Oh, God. What the f... This is not where I thought this game was going to go. What? Are those leaf people? Oh, what? I missed 3 things? Earn an immense number of shekels. Complete the game without repairing any leaf outlets, and complete the game in under 40 minutes. Huh. Can I go straight back in there? What happens if I go back in there? Is there anything else I can do? Am I just supposed to admire my work? Maybe I just leave. Can I leave? No? Go home? No? Okay. That was... Leave it alone. Solid 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this game. It's really peaceful. And I was able to talk a lot. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to hop onto a different game for the people in the live stream. For the people watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful month. And if I don't, and until the next video, have a wonderful life. Goodbye. Alright, what can we play? Oh, I think my screen froze. There we go. Alright. Fix that. Take that. Leave It Alone was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Oh, I've been on for almost 2 hours now. Never mind, I lied to you guys.